Welcome to Up on Game presents Taylor Scouting. Coach Randy Taylor is bringing his 40-plus years of knowledge to you. This is Taylor Scouting. And now, here's Coach Randy Taylor.
Hey, folks, this is Coach Taylor here with the Taylor Scouting podcast on LeVar Arrington's Up on Game Network. I am always fired up to do these shows. I get to talk about recruiting, talk about some football, all the different things that I love and have spent my whole career on. The Taylor Scouting podcast airs on YouTube Fridays at 9 a.m. Pacific time on Up on Game Presents. The podcasts you can find on iHeartRadio, on the Apple Podcasts, everywhere that you find your podcasts these days. Okay. Look forward to talking a little bit about Taylor Scouting Services. That is my organization that I help college prospects evaluate their videos so that college coaches see what they need to see. It's a really important part of this process and one that doesn't get taken care of nearly as much as it should be. So I use my 40-plus years in college football to help prospects provide college coaches with the best highlight video possible. And that's a key to your recruiting success. I always say video is king. It's the most important thing that you do for a college coach is have great highlight video, because that's where they start, right? So as I'm winding down my career in college football, I felt I could help kids and families with a huge part of the recruiting process. And I didn't want to, really charge a bunch of money, but I had to for the time and the requests I was getting. So I decided for only $100 one-time fee, I'll evaluate, provide analysis, and recommend edits to help you get recruited at the level of ball that fits you. At the level of football that fits you is key and will help all of us save a lot of time. So how Taylor Scouting Services works is here's what I do. So let me help you evaluate, analyze, and edit your highlights. I have 40-plus years in college football at Illinois, UNLV, UCLA, and Minnesota. I've also been hired to evaluate prospects by colleges like Notre Dame and USC and the Ivy League and the academies and many others. So after watching thousands of Hudl films, I know what a Hudl page should look like, right? So I get a lot of requests, and these requests come from high school coaches, they come from parents, they come from 7-on-7 coaches, they come from college coaches. And a lot of it is help the athlete and the high school coach understand, and the parents understand about this process. So I decided to create this service to help all of these folks. Okay. So each prospect will receive a report based on the process outline. And I'm going to show you that in a little bit. So using your Hudl page, I create a report that I send to you based off of your Hudl page. That makes sense. And so the end of this is, if you're interested, call or text me, or have a parent or guardian call or text me at 310-612-8457, or email me at rtaylorfbscout@yahoo.com. And you guys know, and I always say it at the end, that you can direct message me or follow me on Twitter at rtaylorfbscout. And so what I want to do is talk about a couple of things, and then I'm going to put on the outlines on the screen so that you can look at it. So I can help the seniors, the juniors, and the sophomores. And since most high school players in those years or those classes have some game tape, or other video like a 7-on-7, 5-on-5, or some camps or drill video, there should be a Hudl video already created. So let me help you make that highlight video great. And for you others, the freshmen and even the eighth graders, when you start putting a Hudl video together, let me know. I work for athletes and families to evaluate and edit highlight videos. Okay. I mean, this is one of the most important jobs I've had, was to help kids understand what a highlight video is and how a college coach looks at it. Okay. Okay. So here we are. I'm sharing the screen. Taylor Scouting Services, a highlight video evaluation service for college prospects. Simple. And let me say this again. I say it all the time. The only reason to have a highlight video is to get colleges to want to learn more about you. Done, closed. Okay. And here's the process outline. Here's what I do for you athletes and parents and even coaches. The process outline starts with the overall evaluation of a prospect's level of play. So that's really key. And that's what a lot of coaches ask me. What level of play do you think he is? Or parents will say, hey, what level of play is my guy? You know, we've been kind of sending out information to FBS Power 5 teams, and he's not getting any attention. And so maybe I'm at the wrong level, looking at the wrong level. And a lot of times you are, because not many players go to that level. And so what I will do is put a rating, a level of play rating on every prospect that I see as a part of this process. So if he's a Power 5 going to play as a freshman, or he's a Group of 5 player, or a Power 5 prospect, all the different categories, D2 FCS prospect, I put that information on the report. So you have a 40+ year analyst, scout, recruiting guy, letting you know what he thinks a college coach is going to think of the prospect. Okay. And he might end up being a JC prospect, and I can help with that as well. Players' area of need is number 2. How to improve, athleticism, flexibility, motor, effort. Those are things that I can point out that maybe you didn't, as a wide receiver on the backside away from the ball, you didn't get your butt down the field and help block to score the touchdown. Or maybe as a running back, you didn't run through the tackles, or whatever those things might be. Flexibility, knee bend, right? All of those important things that you need to show on a highlight tape have got to be on there, and I can help you identify if that's missing. Okay. Next is play selection. So the order of plays is really key, and college coaches aren't going to watch a lot. So your top 5 plays better be great, and then all the rest, because the coach may stop watching you after a few, right? The other thing on a Hudl video you got to be careful of is where the arrows and circles are, and when you put those on you in the on alignment, or whenever that might be. And so the timing again is important, and that's where alignment comes in. So that arrow or that circle better be on you at alignment, as well as the video starting at alignment, so that college coaches know where you came from. Okay. Personal information is really important. You better have your Twitter information on there. You got to have a GPA on there. Contact information is great, but you really better sync that up with your Twitter and your social media, so that college coaches can find your information and be able to watch your Hudl tape and get to know more about you. That's really important, that personal information. A great photo is key. And so, just putting a picture of your headshot or you on the beach really doesn't help you get recruited, unless on the beach you're showing your front view of you, shoulder width, long arms, body type, those kind of things. That's what coaches want to see. They want to see that photo. They want to see that good looking athlete. And so don't just throw that away. That's not who cares what it is. That's an important part of the evaluation. The other part I mentioned a little bit ago about 7-on-7 and 5-on-5 drill video. College coaches love other video. And so include that on your Hudl page, or link it on your Twitter, whatever you got to do. but include those kind of things because college coaches love that kind of stuff. And so let me give you some reminders. Remember, exposure is only good if your Hudl highlight page is great, right? Everyone's looking for exposure. Well, it's only good if your Hudl highlight page is great, if you have great plays and college coaches can see you in those plays. Remember, the first step a college coach takes to decide to recruit you is to watch your highlight video. Again, the number one thing. And make it easy for colleges to recruit you. You know, I say this all the time. It's really important that you do that. And is your highlight video helping you get recruited, right? Is your highlight video helping you get recruited? That's important. College coaches may just look at a few plays and decide what to do with you, recruit or drop you. And finally, a note to high school coaches. You know, I can use my experience in college football to help your prospects, you know, put up a great Hudl video page for college coaches. And that's what I would like to offer to all you high school coaches. If you can use me, I would love to do it. I'm also available to work on a report for your team's college prospects. You know, I've gone, a couple schools have had me come out to practice. I've watched a little practice. Then I talk to the players and the parents and I tell them what I've seen. Then I'll watch some film and even take it a little bit further and rate those players. So that's a part of the service as well. And so that's what Taylor Scouting Service does, Taylor Scouting Service. And again, if you have questions, call my cell number at 310-612-8457 or email me at rtaylorfbscout@yahoo.com. So I appreciate the opportunity to talk about Taylor Scouting and what I do and how I educate parents and coaches and players and work in this process. I look forward to seeing you again on the next show. Again, this is Coach Taylor Scouting Podcast on the Up On Game Network, on YouTube, on the Up On Game Presents, and on the podcasts are on Apple, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Got it? So feel free to join me again at Taylor Scouting. This is Coach Taylor saying so long, folks.